She was amazing.
But tonight, neighbors now fearing the worst in the disappearance of a Kingfisher woman. What one neighbor saw the woman's longtime boyfriend doing in his backyard this week, and the horrific discovery that followed.
It's one thing to hurt a person, but to do what he did, that's a lot.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
And that's where we begin tonight with the latest on the grisly news coming from the backyard of a Kingfisher home. Right now, the man who lived inside is in the custody of police, accused of killing, burning, and dismembering the woman he's in a relationship with for more than 10 years. News 4's Peyton Yeager at the scene all afternoon. And Peyton, you have uncovered some pretty gruesome details within the last few hours.
Eli, we've been digging into Steven Stryker's past. Court documents show in 2011, Stryker was arrested on domestic violence charges. And tonight we learned the family of Brenda Baber knew about the tension in the relationship, and that's what led to the initial call to police.
I bought groceries for her every week. We talked a lot.
Susan Mitchell lives across the street from Steven Stryker and Brenda Baber. She says Stryker was working in the garden this week. Around the same time, all communication with Baber, her longtime friend and neighbor, came to a halt.
It's shocking. It's very shocking.
Police say Baber and Stryker had been together for almost a decade. Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation spent much of Friday sifting through the couple's backyard, digging up what they call a charred and dismembered body.
It's one thing to hurt a person, but to do what he did, that's a lot.
According to a report acquired by Kingfisher Press, Baber's sister told police Stryker claimed he used to be a butcher. He knew how to get rid of a body, and a fireplace works wonders. Kingfisher Police Chief Dennis Baker says Baber's sister hadn't heard from her since Tuesday. Come Thursday, still no word. That's when police performed a welfare check.
They were allowed inside the home, and based on evidence that they saw inside the home, which included her walker, medicine, her dog, just things that she would not leave without.
62-year-old Stryker now sits in the Kingfisher County Jail on a murder complaint, leaving neighbors in disbelief.
He helped our daughter take her Jeep off her top. Jeep, yeah.
And at a loss for words.
She was amazing, and I loved her, and I'm sorry. I don't know what to say, but I'm sorry. She did not deserve that.
Police say the official charges should be filed on Monday.
All right, Peyton Yeager for us tonight. Thank you. Also this evening, a 9-year-old girl with a feeding tube hospitalized after DHS workers found her emaciated and starved. Now, her mother is charged with neglect and even trying to hide her weight loss. News 4's Cassandra Sweetman has the details, and Cassandra, experts say it never had to get to this point.
That's right, Eli. DHS is one of a number of resources available that one expert says could have helped avoid the situation altogether.
I know the situation could have been prevented. I know that for sure.
A 9-year-old Norman girl with a developmental disability found emaciated and living in deplorable conditions. Her mother, Misty West, allegedly watching it happen.
Lack of awareness, lack of knowledge.
Immediate possibilities Chris Bojarski considers when he hears about this type of child neglect. At Among Friends Day Center, he works with people who have a range of disabilities.
At times, there's not a break. Everybody has difficulties.
Difficulties in this case leading to a felony charge. Police report the girl relies on a feeding tube, so it's up to her mother to make sure she is fed. According to court documents, just a month after DHS workers saw the girl healthy, she was so emaciated and in need of medical attention that she was rushed to the ER. Healthcare workers allegedly shaved her head due to the lice they found. And that's not all. The home allegedly infested with roaches, there were molded clothes all over the floor, and there was minimal food.
I mean, there are tons of community resources out there. If food insecurity was an issue, there are places that she could have gone.
West allegedly told police she had been going through hell and slacking. Court documents state West's 16-year-old daughter was the primary caregiver for the child. West also allegedly skipped a doctor's appointment because she did not want her daughter weighed and took her out of school in February because she was tired of the school calling DHS. We tried to reach West for comment online and at home, but have not heard back. Now, West is facing 1 count of felony neglect for the allegations.
Our hearts go out to those children. Cassandra, thank you. Also tonight, a Metro doctor accused of driving drunk and killing a young father. He'll be returning to Oklahoma tomorrow, all without stepping foot inside a jail. We've been telling you about Dr. Brian Perry for months now. The cardiologist had been finishing a stint inside of an Alabama rehab center, and it was back in October when Nick Rappa was riding on his motorcycle on I-35. That's when a man in a Mercedes slammed right into him and then took off. Police say they tracked Perry down a short time later. They say he was drunk, slurring his words, even reeking of alcohol. 2 months later, Perry was busted again for allegedly trying to drink and drive on New Year's Eve. He was sent to an out-of-state rehab. Tomorrow, he'll be returning to Oklahoma for house arrest until he's due back in court. We turn to the state capitol, where legislative pages will return to the Capitol itself after the program was rocked by a scandal last month. It's something that hundreds of Oklahoma students participate in every year. They spend a week at the Capitol running errands for lawmakers and legislative staff. The program includes overnight stays at a hotel, but it was inside one of those hotel rooms that a teen says she was sexually assaulted by a fellow page. Capitol officials say that while the program will return, male and female pages will no longer serve together. Instead, they're going to alternate weeks. A pearl necklace and a bright red wig. On Crime Watch, investigators say a man dressed as a woman held up a Yukon bank at gunpoint. It happened at the RCB Bank on Garth Brooks Boulevard. Terrified tellers gave the man cash before he made his getaway in an older model white Chevrolet. Also tonight.
Well, we've had lots and lots of calls. I mean, this is page after page.
A local roofing company targeted by scammers. Lifestyle Home Improvement says someone stole their phone number and is now contacting and harassing customers. The person on the other end of the phone reportedly will even set up appointments for a roofer to come out to someone's home, only to scam people out of their hard-earned cash. That company now offering a reward for information. If you're wondering where Kevin Ogle is tonight and his brothers Kent and Kelly, we are busy being honored by Edmond Public Schools. The Ogle brothers inducted into the district's Hall of Fame. Their family moved to the area in 1963, and all 3 boys and their kids attended kindergarten through 12th grade there. Of course, back then there was only one high school. It was Edmond Memorial. And last week, our team pulled off an epic surprise with the help of TS Heat and Air. Sergeant Dave Carroll with the Yukon Police Department thought he was called in to investigate vandalism.
Sergeant Dave Carroll.
What is this?
We've been following you for some time now.
No. Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
I mean, I've seen your shows. I mean, it could go either way. So.
Well, no reason to sweat it. In this case, it was good. We're told that Dave and his family would get a brand new heating and cooling system. Get this, completely free of charge. And this week, our team made good on that promise. Here's Scott Hines.
It's awesome.
Sergeant Dave Carroll still riding high.
Has it sunk in yet that this thing's yours?
No.
He says he hasn't been able to take his eyes off his new trusty sidekick.
Have you named her or him?
Not yet. We're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so we'll just call her Hi-Ho Silver for right now.
Okay. I like that.
The Lone Ranger.
Dave doesn't don a mask, but like the Lone Ranger, he commits his life to bringing order and goodwill to his community. And now that goodwill, like a mirror, is being reflected back to him.
I mean, I love this guy a whole bunch right here. I told my boys, I was like, you know, we're blessed, we're lucky. And
remember, the old unit was undersized.
Turn it on and you can hear that thing like just like clunk, clunk, cling, and then it starts going.
The new one purrs like a kitten.
Oh yeah, definitely warms your heart.
Brandon Yan from Lennox is meeting Dave for the first time.
I'm glad to meet someone taller than me for once. But yeah, we're really happy.
And balder than you.
Yeah, balder too. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
The guys are embracing their baldness and the joy of new friendship. Russell Shaver from Heritage Electric did even more upgrades, like installing a new fuse box for the AC and this dandy 8-foot fluorescent light.
All he had was a little light bulb in the middle. It just barely lit up. We added a plug for his garage door opener because he couldn't use it unless the light was on.
A bit of cool comfort and reassurance for this dad and his kids right before it gets really hot.
And anything I can ever do, you know, don't ever hesitate to call me.
The AC unit Hi-Ho Silver, rescuing an officer who's used to being the one doing the rescuing. Officer Dave, we got you this time.
I do appreciate everything.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. Come here. Big guy. How are you?
Yeah.
Little guy.
I'm Scott Hines, in your corner.
And Officer Dave, we appreciate you. Have a problem for Scott Hines and the In Your Corner team? All you have to do is call the In Your Corner hotline or send us a message on our website.
Tracking powerful thunderstorms that arrive tonight. They're here tomorrow also. What severe risk they bring is next.
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10 with Jolene Cheney, Kevin Ogle, Mike Morgan, Brian Brinkley, and Scott Hines in your corner. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you. Now, forewarned weather with Aaron Brackett.
Well, it's quiet outside right now. It was a nice day earlier today, but later on tonight and tomorrow, you might hear some racket out there, courtesy of the weather. Yeah, there we go with the time lapse. You can see the clouds rolling in right before sunset. It was a really nice sunset with the high cirrus clouds in place. And now a different look from 50 Pen shows we are quiet outside again. That is going to change here in just a couple hours time as we're talking the threat of severe weather here in much of the state. So here's the stats for today. High temperature was 74. Not bad, right? It's 5 above what's average. On the low side, 48 was how we started our day. And if you look at the whole map, everyone's actually seeing some pretty nice temperatures right now. Even some 70s hanging out in parts of Texas. Well, not just nice temperatures. These are actually going to be fuel for thunderstorms that are on the way. Along with that, our southeasterly winds are ushering in some more moisture, and that's what we're seeing here. Again, another ingredient for active thunderstorms overnight tonight. So here we are, really no rain yet. This is just feedback. Actually, this tells us that we're very stable for now at the ground layer. It's up above when things are starting to change. The white would be the clouds as we saw them coming in. And look out to the Texas Panhandle. Yeah, it's active right now, especially since the last time we spoke earlier in the evening broadcast. You can see these yellow boxes right right here. Severe thunderstorm warnings. We had severe weather near Amarillo, Lubbock, thunderstorms rolling through, and this is going to head toward Oklahoma here through the overnight hours. It'll take its time, though. That's the thing. See how there's more of a northerly component than a easterly component? So it'll be with us for some time, giving us quite a bit of rain, thunder, lightning, and the possibility of seeing some hail here in the state. So Future Track has it pretty well locked down now. We've actually kind of backed up the weather here throughout the overnight hours. First little bits of rain come into the state about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, just some sprinkles, and then the heavier stuff really gets going towards sunrise in western Oklahoma. The fact that this has slowed down a little bit, though, means that, well, during the middle of the day, that's when the showers and storms roll in, and they'll have a bigger potential to be strong and severe. So now we're talking in the Oklahoma City metro anywhere between about sunrise and 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, the first raindrops coming in here. Looks like we'll still get a little clearing and then possibly a couple more thunderstorms developing late in the day in western Oklahoma tomorrow. Coverage will not be as great there, but certainly could be kind of a long day with a couple dry hours kind of sandwiched in the middle. All right, let's fast forward to Sunday here. More isolated showers and thunderstorms. It looks like these will hold mostly south and east of OKC, although I'm going to keep a chance of rain in there as those will be roaming much of the Oklahoma landscape. Rainfall totals, here's the good news. They're going to be high, but again, you get some of these heavy thunderstorms. It's all going to come down pretty fast and furious, so flooding, again, an additional threat along with thunder, the lightning, and that hail potential. So overnight tonight, here we are. The rain starts out west very late. All right, it's going to be well after midnight, so still looking good the next few hours. Then it slowly moves its way eastward. 56 the low temperature. Notice we're not going to fall that much with our temps through the overnight hours. Here's tomorrow in the morning to late morning. Temps don't go up that much because we'll have clouds in place. The green is about a 100% chance for rain. Yeah, you don't hear that too much. It's going to happen tomorrow. It'll last through the middle of the day. Showers and thunderstorms, some of those will be strong. Of course, we'll keep you forewarned. Right now, the best kind of meshing of ingredients looks to be Oklahoma City, I-40, and points off to the south. So again, starting first in western and southwestern Oklahoma, then working its way eastward throughout the late morning hours. Main threat here by far is going to be hail. Of course, any of the strong and severe thunderstorms, they could have some of those gusty high winds and flooding as we talked about earlier. Tomorrow afternoon, first wave is out of here. It moves into eastern Oklahoma, and this low chance right here, about 20 to 30% chance in western parts of the state. That will be if we can clear out, if we can warm up. That will be a late afternoon threat right there, and real low end threat right here. It's going to be a slight risk. Hail, high winds, we call it a conditional risk. Very good likelihood that we'll have no storms, but if 1 or 2 do go up, then they will be severe in the afternoon. So 100% chance that at sometime tomorrow, you're going to see some rain. Strong thunderstorms, some of that rain is going to be heavy, and there'll be a couple dry hours out there too as well, sandwiched in the middle of the day. 73 on Sunday, 40% chance of storms, and the week looks really good here. Lots of sunshine, really no rain chances during the work week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, looking good. Look at the 80s right here. Nice warm up followed by a sharp cool down. That'll be a dry cold front that comes in on Thursday, so actually fire potential will be there Wednesday and Thursday. Our next chance for rain after this weekend, unfortunately, square for next weekend.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Coming up, could Kevin Durant be on the move again? The team that one reporter says Kevin Durant is a lock to go to this offseason. Plus, the Thunder put on an incredible show against Detroit. You can't miss what Russell Westbrook did tonight. It's next on News 4.